Hello, this is Scott White from Glasshouse Home Safety. Welcome to another Toasted Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk to you about false alarms. False alarms of smoke alarms. Not just causes, but why you don't really want to be having them. So just to get the ball rolling, why would you, apart from the annoyance of the noise and the disturbance of a false alarm, another reason why you wouldn't want to be having false alarms all the time is because it takes the edge off a real fire situation. The sounds that are emitted from the alarm on a real alarm, when it's sounding, is made to be startling and sharp, to grab your attention. So you go, "What's that? Let's move." It's meant to evoke an immediate response. Now, if you've heard the thing 3 or 4 times over the last few days or weeks, the chances are you're fairly familiar with it, and familiarity breeds contempt. You pretty much just go, "Oh, it's that thing again, I wonder what's going on," and you don't really respond to it in the emergency way that you should be. So you really want to minimise false alarms as much as you can. In fact, if you have a testing company such as Glasshouse Home Safety, well, we offer a no beep guarantee. That means that any alarm that we install, no beeping unless there's a real alarm, and that's the only time you want to hear them. You want them to be your silent best friend. So we ensure that we place them in the right spots, we put the right type in, and so on and so forth. So if you're getting false alarms all the time, do something about it. It's not good, and it's not going to help you in a real situation. So what are some of the causes of false alarms? The most common cause is being the wrong type, being an ionisation type, and being perhaps near a kitchen or anywhere that the cooking fumes are emitted. Ionisation alarms are not really smoke alarms. They're just products of combustion alarms. We've covered that in another video, but long story short, if you've got someone that has an alarm that goes off every time they're cooking, I'll guarantee you it's an ionisation alarm, and they are so unsafe because much as they go off all the time when you're cooking, they just do not go off in a real house fire, in a smouldering, the most common type of fire, a smouldering house fire. They just don't pick up smoke. They just pick up the products of combustion, and that's what the cooking does. So if you're getting that a lot, check the type, replace it. Even if it's not over 10 years old, replace it. It just will not save you in a true fire. Positioning's a big thing. As far I would recommend keeping a smoke alarm 6 to 7 metres away from a kitchen, and that's normally not an issue because kitchens are not normally in the path of egress. They're not normally, so even if they've got no protection in the kitchen, it's not normally an area you have to pass through in order to escape, and that's the area that you want to be protecting. You want to be making sure that you can get out. That's crucial. So another area to keep away from is bathrooms, because steam is another cause. Water vapour looks just like smoke to a photo optical alarm, so you've got to keep them a distance away from the entries to bathrooms and in bathrooms. Now, of course, if you're worried about the kitchen and the bathroom not being protected, you can put in a thermal alarm, a heat alarm, which is another video. We'll cover that. But for now, your smoke alarm should be, again, maybe 6 to 7 metres away from the entrance to the bathroom, but that is normally in a path of egress, so you've got to be very careful about your placement. You don't want to be more than 10 metres away from each other, but you want that bathroom to, the steam to come out and not set off your alarm a lot. Bugs are another one. Bugs just love getting into little holes and making nests. So try and keep perhaps the wire mesh on your windows and your doors, keep them up to scratch, not big holes in them, because the bugs will come in. Try not to keep your doors open at night, because the bugs are attracted by the light. They'll head in there, they'll end up finding a nice little spot inside the smoke alarm and making a home, and then quite often they'll be just move around in there and it'll set it off, and you can't see any reason why it went off. So bugs are a big one. Dust is a big one. And dust is very common because you might just be sweeping up an area and you know, the dust will raise and get into the alarm and set it off. Now that affects it not just at that moment, but the dust then gets inside and contaminates the inside of the alarm, and little particles being sitting there, and a little bit of air blows through it and stirs it up again, another alarm. But that time you couldn't see the dust. So you know, and that's the case if you're doing some renovations, or you know, cutting concrete, or you're going to, you know, cut some wood, or anything that's going to give airborne dust particles. You want to be covering the smoke alarm. Now you can use the little cover that comes with the smoke alarm when you buy it, which we make sure we leave there for people. Sometimes they're little plastic ones, sometimes like a shower cap go over the top of it. If you can't find them, get a plastic bag, slip it over the alarm and put a rubber band around it, and that'll seal it for that time, but don't leave it on there. When you finish what you're doing, make sure you get it off, because it's got to be able to sample the air. But it's a good thing to do because you're deteriorating the alarm if you let the dust into it. Another one is paint and paint fumes. Of course, you never paint over the top of a smoke alarm because the air can't get in there to sample. But the fumes from paint also sort of melt the plasticky bits inside, to use the non-technical terms, and basically it doesn't do them any good at all. So if you're going to paint anywhere near them, you've got to cover them, because you'll end up, again, afterwards, it looks fine on the outside, but it keeps false alarming, and you just can't work out what's going on. It's the damage that's already done inside. So they're the main causes. There are other little bits and pieces, but you know, distances from fans and other things, but they're the main things, and they're the things that you can control. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please like, share or comment on the video, and I will look forward to, thank you for listening. I look forward to speaking with you again for our next Safety Saturday. Have a good day.